Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Shinta Ratna Wulan. I'm from International Program on Science Education, batch 2017. So in this video, I would like to explain about something a little amount, but it could be helpful and useful in our daily life. But if it is in a large amount, it could be harmful. What is that? Of course, you're gonna have the answer after you watch the video. So yeah, without any further ado, keep watching on the video. Okay, let's get started. Here I have several pictures. The first picture is the water blocked on the stove. The second is the ice melt in room temperature. And the third is the table getting warm by the hot tea placed on it. And the fourth is the scrambled egg cook on the pan. I believe you are familiar for these several pictures. But the question is, what cause of those things happen? Do you know the answer? So the answer is because of the heat. What is actually the heat? Heat is transfer of energy due to the difference of temperature from higher temperature to lower temperature. But you have to remember that heat is not temperature, it's different. The temperature is referred to the degree of heat present, while the heat is the energy. So heat is not temperature. There are three ways of heat to transfer. The first way is convection, second is convection, and the third is radiation. Here we go first to the convection. Conduction. What is conduction? In conduction, the heat is transferred by direct contact between the objects whereby the molecules are colliding each other, resulting in transportation of thermal energy or heat to neighboring parts of molecule. Here we have to underline that the conduction is the heat getting transferred by direct contact and the molecules are colliding. We're gonna say that heat is transferred through solid. Why solid? Because in solid, the particles are all very close together. They are very strong each other. They have very connection within the particles. And the particles in solid have a little freedom movement. So when the heat is given to the particle of solid, it will make solid particle more actively collide. So then the heat will transfer to neighboring part of molecule. To make better understand, I have the video about the convection. So let's watch on the video.
Let us take a look at a simple experiment. With the help of wax, stick nails at equal intervals on an iron rod. Now heat one end of the rod. You can find that within some time, the nail nearest to the heated end falls off. After some time, the nail next to it falls off. In this order, all the nails fall off the rod with time. Why does this happen? The iron rod is made up of atoms, which are constantly in close contact with each other. When the rod is heated from one end, the atom which is near the flame gets heated first. Then, this atom, while remaining in its position, transfers heat to the adjacent atoms. These atoms, in turn, transfer heat to the next atoms. Similarly, loosely bound electrons also transfer heat energy. The free electrons, after acquiring the heat energy, drift through the metals and transfer heat energy by colliding with other atoms, as well as other free electrons within the metal rod. When the point where the nail is stuck to the rod gets heated, the wax melts and the nail falls off. As the heat continues to get transferred through the rod, the nail falls off. In this way, heat gets transferred through the rod. This type of heat transfer is called conduction. Hence, conduction is defined as the process of heat transfer, where heat is transferred from one atom to the other without the actual displacement of atoms.
Okay, that's for the convection. So, from the video, you can say the convection is transferred through solid. The heat is transferred to solid. In the video, the solid is metal or the iron rod. Now, what are the examples of conduction? The first, when we boil the water, the pot is getting hotter from the bottom as the stove is heated. And the second is when we have the hot tea or coffee or the hot milk and we put the spoon on the cup, the spoon is getting hotter to the end of the spoon because the convection. And the third example is when we have cooked the egg on a fan, the handle of fan is getting hotter to the end of handle. It's the same with the spoon and the cup. So you have to remember that do not ever touch the metal while it's heated because it will harm you. Okay, next we go to the convection. What is convection? The convection is the transfer of the heat whereby the movement of large numbers of molecules over large distance from one place to another movement of molecules. So here we have to underline about the movement of the particles, that the particles have large distance. Or simply say, we can say that the convection is the heat transfer through fluid. In fluid, we have liquid and gas. So the particles in liquid and gas are slightly less close packed. It's different with the conduct in the solid. In liquid and gas, the particles have large distance, so they can move freely. They will have some freedom and can move around each other. So I also have another video about the convection. Let's watch the video.
Let us perform another simple activity. Take a test tube filled with water. Take a piece of ice and wrap a copper wire around it. On dropping this ice piece into the test tube, it settles to the bottom of the test tube. Now hold the test tube in a tilted position over a burner. The water at the top of the test tube starts getting heated. As we continue heating the test tube, the water at the top starts boiling. But still the ice at the bottom of the test tube does not melt. This means that water at the bottom has not yet been heated, and heat is not yet transferred to the bottom. This experiment clearly shows that liquids do not conduct heat as easily as solid, because the molecules of liquid are not arranged in close contact with each other. In comparison to liquids, gases fare even worse while conducting heat. But how does heat get transferred in liquids? Heat transfer in liquid takes place by a phenomenon called convection.
Okay, from the video, about the convection, we can say the convection is the heat transfer due to the movement of fluid. The fluid we have the liquid and gas. The example of convection, the first is when we boil the water, the convection currents are set up as the heated water at the bottom of the pot rises because of its reduced density and is replaced by the cool water from above. So the hot water will rise up while the cold water will sink down, and it flows regularly like that, and it's called as the convection current. So the water, in boiled water, we have the boiled water. The second example is about the gravity furnace or room heater. So the room air will warm as the furnace produces the hot air. The hot air will rise, then air cooled by room heat. cooled by the room. So it's the same with the previous example. The hot air will rise up while the cooled air will sink down, and it will move regularly, the movement of the fluid. And the third is the hot air balloon. The heater in hot air balloon is warm the air, and the hot air will rise, while the cold air will sink. The convection current are set up that makes the hot balloon rise up. Okay, now we move to the radiation. The radiation is the transfer of heat through regardless of the medium. And they said no need medium to transfer to heat is getting transferred. Even in the empty space, the heat can transfer. So it's called as the radiation. What is the proof? Yes, it's about the sun and the earth. The earth is radiated. The sun is radiated to the earth by electromagnetic waves. So, as we know that in outer space, there is no air, there is no solid, there is no liquid like that. So there's empty space. There is no matter on it. So the solar energy from the sun is carried by the electromagnetic waves from a starting point with the space surrounding it and doesn't involve contact with matter. So in empty space, the radiation can transfer the heat. Another case about the radiation is incandescent lamp. In incandescent lamp, we have filament, and the filament produce heat as they getting electricity. And it also has bulb, and the bulb make the incandescent lamp is vacuum. So there is no air, there is no oxygen. What is the aim of the vacuum to make the incandescent lamp is vacuum? The aim is for oxygen to keeping away from the hot filament. If there is oxygen, the filament will burn. So the bulb is needed to prevent the burn. The incandescent lamp we can use in hatching egg. So in hatching egg we have like the isolated box or the room like that, and we put the incandescent lamp in it, and we will have the egg is hatched because for the hatching egg we require the stable of the hot temperature. And another example about the radiation is first microwave. Why is microwave oven? The microwave ovens work by using very high levels of a certain frequency of microwave to heat food. When microwaves are absorbed by food containing water, it causes the water molecules of food to vibrate, which produce heat. Simply say, the microwave ovens use the microwave to cook the food. And the second example is the campfire. A campfire warms you by the radiation. You don't need to touch the fire to get warm, right? So you just have several distance from the fire and your hand and your body. And that's all. You have warmed your body by the campfire. So it's the campfire getting transferred by the radiation. We can remember about the radiation is you can feel the warmth without touching it. That is radiation. So here I have summary about the three ways of heat transfer. The first is convection, the second is convection, and the third is radiation. For the convection, the heat is transferred through solid. The example are the pot on a stove, the handle and a hot tea, And the third is the pan on a stove. And for the convection, the heat is transferred through solid. The convection, the heat is transferred through fluid. The fluid, we have liquid and gas. The example of convection is the hot air balloon, and the second is warm air by room heater, and the third is the hot water rises and cold water sinks when we boil the water. And for the radiation, is the heat is transferred through regardless of the medium. The example of radiation is the campfire. We getting warm by the campfire without touching it. And the second is incandescent lamp. Also, we will getting warm. We will feel the warmth of the lamp without touching the bulb, right? And the third, for the radiation example, is the microwave oven. The microwave oven use the microwave or the kind of electromagnetic wave to cook the food. So we go to the next section about this presentation. It's about the question time. So here I have the QR code. You have to access the QR code below and answer the question on it. I will give you the time to access the QR code. And good luck for your test.
Okay, maybe that's all from me. I hope what I explained to you could be helpful and useful. And I'm looking forward for any feedback, so please drop it in comment box. Sorry for any mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye everyone.